Welcome to Sparks of History, where world history and Jewish history meet. We are extremely pleased to have with us today Professor Mark Cheathem of Cumberland University. Professor Cheathem is an award-winning author and editor of American history, including The Coming of Democracy, Presidential Campaigning in the Age of Jackson, Jacksonian and Antebellum Age, People and Perspectives. Cheathem is also the project director and co-editor of the papers of Martin Van Buren, which are housed in Cumberland University's Vise library. And today we will be discussing Professor Cheathem's Andrew Jackson, Southerner, highly researched, fresh, new perspective at Andrew Jackson and his impactful roots, the Journal of American History. Mark Cheathem is a fine historian who has, in Andrew Jackson Southerner, produced a well-researched, nicely written account of one of the nation's most controversial presidents. Again, Professor, thank you so much for being with us today. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
To get started, a little bit about your background and how you became interested in Andrew Jackson.
I was influenced by a professor. So I teach at Cumberland University, but I also received my bachelor's degree from here. And when I was an undergraduate, I had a professor who was one of the first docents at the Hermitage. So he and his wife had given tours at the Hermitage, which is Andrew Jackson's home here in Nashville. And I took a Jacksonian class from him and was just enthralled by the stories that he told. In hindsight, some of them may have been a little embellished. He was a great storyteller as a professor. So some of them were embellished, I think, but he just introduced Jackson to me in a way that I'd never heard before. And he convinced me to go work at the Hermitage during my senior year of college. And that just brought me even more into Andrew Jackson's world. And I just became fascinated by someone who was so controversial, who was such a steadfast supporter of the Union, but yet was also someone who was in favor of states' rights and just had all these contradictions. So that's what really drew me into studying Andrew Jackson.